Alright, what is up guys? NA4 here and welcome back to another movie review. And today, you see the shirt, you see the backdrop, we're talking about the Flash. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. Don't worry about it. But we're talking about the Flash today. Jeez, I genuinely don't know where to start. And let me just say, the DC movies, they're in shambles, okay? If Black Adam underperformed in The Flash, a bigger character than Black Adam underperformed less than that, Blue Beetle is going to be in for a rude awakening. And I hate to say that, because I love Blue Beetle. And this movie does, oh man. This might have been the nail in the coffin, honestly. Like, James Gunn, I don't think he can save the DC movies. But anyways, I'm going to be giving you guys my personal review. I'm going to be telling you guys the highs, the lows, the yes, the no's, the pros, the cons, the whole shebang, alright? Because this movie, I feel like everyone's in agreement. The reviews are in, the audiences have spoken, and we can all just say this movie is not great. This movie is a far cry for help. And it makes me wonder so many questions, like, why would they shelf the Batgirl movie but put this movie out instead? Like, it doesn't make sense. Why they put this out knowing the whole Ezra Miller controversies, everything he's been doing as of late. Why still promote this movie and put him in it knowing that people aren't going to watch it because of that sole reason? I don't get it. I don't know what they're doing over there at DC, bro. I have talked about this before. I think that superhero movies are kind of taking a bit of a decline. Why they put this out, even though Across the Spider-Verse is still making money at the box office, is beyond me. I would have rather them just postpone this movie for like another year or so, because this movie was not finished. This movie was in development hell for so long, and it shows with this movie. The script, the acting, the pacing, especially the VFX, the special effects in this movie are god awful. Like, they look like PlayStation 3 effects or something, dude. Like, it's unacceptable. Like, I genuinely don't get it. Iron Man came out back in 2008, and that movie somehow looks better than this movie. How that's humanly possible, I don't know. But yeah, this movie, it's not great. And it's concerning. I thought Fast X was going to be the dumbest movie I saw this year. This one might have just taken the cake. The humor for this movie is just not funny. It's kind of odd. Like, it's kind of unsettling, bro. Like, even from the opening scenes, it's just like, wait, what? Like, I don't get it. None of the characters really act like themselves. I get them making this movie was a hassle and all, but geez, I would have rather them just delay this movie and then put it out another time, because this movie is not finished. It's incomplete. If they do like a director's cut or something like that, it has to be somehow better than this movie, because Jesus, I don't know how they put this out expecting it to do numbers. Like, I know James Gunn and even Tom Cruise, they both hyped this movie up, saying it was one of the best movies of all time, one of the best, well, not best movies of all time, but best superhero movies of all time. And I did not get that. It sucks to be a Flash fan right now, because this movie, wow, just wow. I mean, there are some things I did somewhat enjoy about this movie, like this new version of Supergirl that we get. I thought she was pretty good. I'm gonna be a little biased because I thought she was very attractive. Chef's kiss. But that's just me. We get Michael Keaton back as Batman. That's not a spoiler. It's in all the trailers and advertisement. He does well with what he has, but even now, like, he feels very out of place in this movie. Like, even his suit, it just looks like, like, you got this like old rubber suit, and we got all these other suits that has like special effects, all CGI and stuff. He does well with what he has, though, so I'm not too mad at Michael Keaton. It's just the way that this movie is written and the way that they do the characters. Like, even the way that they do Ben Affleck's version of Batman in this movie, like, it's like they just took a step back with his character. Like, he never really acts like this in any other project except for this one, and I don't get it. They keep trying to force these Wonder Woman cameos on us, like every DC movie for some reason, like she's a new character. And it's just like, dude, like, she hasn't been really hot since her first movie. So I don't really get why they keep trying to put all these Wonder Woman cameos in there. It just seems very out of place. Um, and I don't know, man. This movie was it's kind of a disaster. It's just all over the place. Um, this isn't the best storytelling ever. If you like the Flashpoint Paradox or whatever, there's definitely better versions of it to go watch. This movie does not do that storyline justice, which is a shame because it's probably the Flash's most, iconic and best story plot out of all of them, arguably. But man, this movie was something. And I know it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse. I'm repeating myself, but it's like I'm genuinely at a loss of words. Like I can't really think of that many positives to say about this movie. Like this movie makes it really hard to defend, and like I don't know why. Like I feel like there were lots of things that they could have done differently, but they didn't. So if you're a fan of The Flash, I would just go and watch the earlier seasons of The Flash TV series on the CW. Um, Go and do that, okay? Because I don't know what this movie was, and I will admit it. Even though I don't like Ezra Miller now, he was one of the highlights of the Justice League movie. Even though that movie was bad, he was probably one of the only good things about it. But he doesn't really have that charm in this one. Like the story, it doesn't have really any payoff at all. Like things happen in this movie and they don't make a lot of sense. Like they're like, hey, Batman, you should totally help us come save the world, and he's like, no. And then like the very next scene, he's like, okay. And the same thing with Supergirl. They're just like, hey, like we can we can join the forces, be together. No. And then she comes back and it's like 5 minutes later, and it's just like, why? Like why say no then change your mind so quick? Things just happen in this movie, bro. The Flash putting kids in a microwave and like who thought of that? Who thought that was okay? And dude, oh my god, the special effects throughout majority of this movie they're almost unacceptable. And the director, he tried to make a point saying, oh, the CGI is supposed to look bad. Like you're seeing it from Barry's perspective. What? Like oh my god. Like it hurts. It genuinely hurts. I would watch another 10 Fast and Furious movies than watch this movie. Because, bro, there's no way that was your excuse. You could have easily just said, time constraints played a factor, and I would have been like, okay, fine, I get that. Budgeting, behind the scenes issues, stuff like that. But trying to, like, say, oh, it's Barry's perspective, get the hell out of here, dude. So look, if I'm giving this movie the benefit of the doubt, I might give it a 6 out of 10. Like I said, it's not the worst superhero movie I've ever seen, but it's not a great movie whatsoever. So it's like a 5 or a 6 out of 10, bro. Yeah, man, I'm out, bro. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I have to be.